All right. So good evening again. My name is Leticia Bazan, and I am one of the directors in the College of Graduate Studies. And it is my privilege tonight to welcome y'all and serve as one of your hosts for tonight's orientation. Again, as I said earlier, for those of y'all that have been on the last few minutes, we're excited to have you here with us this evening. We have a lot of hopefully helpful information to get you going as you start the semester. But what we want to do first is provide you with an official greeting from the College of Graduate Studies. And it's my privilege to introduce our Dean for the College of Graduate Studies, Dr. Karen McCaleb, to provide some words. So Dr. McCaleb, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Leticia. Good afternoon and Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you're off to a great start to 2022. Who knows what this will bring, but I think we're just about ready for anything at this point. As Dean of the College of Graduate Studies, I'm honored to welcome you to graduate school. To begin with, I want to take a minute to congratulate you all already. You applied to graduate school, which many people think about, even aspire to, but never do. Whether you realize it or not, making the decision to apply and attend may be one of the very most important decisions of your life. It may alter your entire life's trajectory. I know it has for me and many of my colleagues that are here with me now. I'm not sure if you're aware of the statistics, but less than 10%, only about 8% of the US population have a master's degree. 3% a doctoral degree. It's a small population that tends to move forward in higher ed. It's not easy, but it's worth it. You're about to take a path that most others do not take. For some of you, you may have just been in school recently, and you might be pretty familiar with the university experience, expectations, online learning, and virtual supports, such as this orientation. We were planning to have both an on-campus and an online one, but we ran into some building issues and a few other concerns, but we like to have both. Some people are more comfortable with one versus another. Our goal at the College of Graduate Studies is to make sure that you are successful as a graduate student. So whether it's been a while since you've been in school and online learning terrifies you because you've never had to do it before, or whether you're coming out of an online program, we're here for you. Whether you went to school when the library had more books than the computer programs, or the university was set up differently, that's okay. We're here to help you navigate. We're here to welcome you to the university tonight, but we'll also be here to watch you cross the stage during your graduation with your graduate degree. Tonight's virtual orientation will help you know where to begin, how to begin, and who to contact when the need arises, because it will arise. It already has for many of you. I'm getting emails, about 7 today, saying, can you tell me who my advisor is? How do I find this? How do I find that? Am I eligible for financial aid? If you don't know where to turn here, and I will point you in the right direction, or I will connect you with services. That's what my team and I help you do. We don't want you spending time running all over campus. You'll be spending time tonight with Leticia, who you've already met, and Sophia, who I think many of you have also met in the mixer. And they're not only two of my team members, but they're also completing their graduate programs. And they can discuss your questions and concerns. And it's not only professional university staff members, but also student to student. So feel free to ask them questions. No Trust me. And I am a former teacher, but I think once you're a teacher, you're always a teacher. There is no question too simple. If you have it, trust me, others do too. And we want to make sure you have the information you need to move forward. We know this is not like undergrad school. Your lives are very busy. You have additional commitments at this point. Most of you work, many full-time, have families, have other family obligations, community obligations. Time is tight. You don't need to be trying to guess where to go for what help. Let us guide you through that. One thing I do want to talk about is advising, because sometimes our students do self-advise and they look at the catalog and they say, oh, this would be a good class, or I'm interested in that. Please don't do that. Please talk with your advisor to make sure that you have a degree plan that works for you and that you can finish your courses and your program in the correct manner. Some have prerequisite courses. Some courses, programs may have leveling classes. You will each have 2 advisors. One is a faculty advisor, and that is a faculty member within your specific discipline. So if you are in nursing, it is a nursing educator. If you are in educational leadership, it is with an educational leadership faculty member, or in the sciences, or in business. You will each have a faculty advisor who will help advise you with the courses, course rotations, but also your career path and questions about the courses. In addition, you will also have a graduate advisor. And this is a person from my office, part of my team, who you'll meet later on, who is located in each of the colleges, who will help you with choosing courses, course rotation, what is offered when, how many courses should I take, what courses do I take, how do I register, why do I have a hold on my account? This is your go-to person. They will hold your hand and walk you through it, because it's a different type of advising, and it is a different situation for many of you. There should not be any guesswork. You shouldn't have to figure out how to navigate. Go see your advisor. Again, you'll be meeting them a little bit later on. And what I also want you to do is always seek advice. Let us know if you're struggling. Let us know if you started a new position in your job, that you have more responsibility and you don't think you're going to be successful. Maybe you're thinking you might have to drop a class because you're taking care of a family member, or your work assignments are just too heavy for you now. Talk to your advisor. Because if you're a doctoral student, we have something called continuous enrollment, in which you need to be enrolled every single semester or you're dropped. But if you need a semester off, let us know and we'll set you up with a leave of absence. If you're a master's level student, you have a little bit more leeway, but we also have a drop component. So please check. Also, if you are in a master level program, you have 7 years to complete. If you're in a doctoral level program, you have 10, and that includes your dissertation. So please make sure you're communicating with your advisor. Do not just stop attending. If we know that something is going on, and you don't need to give us details, but let us help you navigate that. We also have resources on campus. Sometimes people really struggle with some of their first classes. We have tutoring on campus that's available for on-campus students and online campus or online students through our CASA. And graduate and undergraduate take the advantage of those resources. We have our clinic, our counseling clinic, that is free and confidential for our students. We have financial supports if people need some help getting over a semester, or we can point you in the right direction or make sure that you apply for scholarships. There are many supports that you may not know exist until you need them. Let us know and let us help you navigate those. We do not want to lose you. So let us know what's happening and we can support you as much as we can through that time. But please, again, I always tell people, just don't fall off the edge of a cliff because I don't know where you are. If we know that you need some help, we can help connect you with the resources that you need. This is really an exciting time. And you might think, oh, yeah, I've got to go to classes. I'm going to have to put time into this. It's going to eat up my time. Yes, absolutely. You're going to be absolutely exhausted. You're going to be challenged. You're going to wonder, what am I doing? And I used to have free time. And why am I doing this? Is it really worth it? Absolutely, it is. I guarantee you it is worth it. So before I leave you to do some of the nuts and bolts that you need to know to get started right away, I want to leave you with just 3 pieces of advice. I have many more, but I could talk for hours. Again, that's a teacher in me, and so I'm limiting it to just 3. 1, please remember you're not alone. You are just not alone. We go to school on an island, but we are not islands. We connect with each other. Whether you're an online or on-campus student, connect with others. Those people in your classes, those are also the leaders in your discipline. Build that professional and social network now, because you may be a superintendent going to be a superintendent in one town, and your colleague or classmate is going to be a superintendent in another town, or is going to be a director of counseling services, or is going to work at the university, or whatever. Connect, because those are the leaders in your discipline and in your field. So get to know them. Build those professional networks, foster those strong friendships that may last a lifetime. And remember that grad school is so much more than classes and assignments. Get the most out of this experience. You won't get it again. Put the time into it. Be mindful and purposeful. This is one of those situations you will truly get out of it what you put into it. The second piece of advice, ask questions. I know I said that already, but seek help if you need it. Don't hesitate to ask a question. Ask questions of your faculty when you're in class if there is something you don't understand. If you are someone who is not quite comfortable asking in front of an entire class at this point, seek the professor after class. Go to an office hour. Shoot that professor an email. But if you have a question, this is your professional career. This is your professional education. Ask. As a faculty member and as a teacher, I love that. I love it because it shows me that students are engaged, that they really want to understand a concept, that they're thinking more critically, or is showing me, wow, I really didn't do a good job explaining this. So I'm going to explain it to the student, but then I'm going to clarify it in my next course section or through an email or in my next class with these students. Because this is your education, and this is really about you. Ask a question, and it gets to the professor gets to know you a little bit more that way. Besides asking questions help you to learn and succeed, people want to help you, whether it is the faculty or the staff. People are here for a reason. They're here because they love the university, they love what they do, and truly, this is probably the most caring and supportive university I have worked at or attended. And as one of those people that have, well, a few graduate degrees in different areas, I can tell you that says a lot for the folks at this university. So ask. And the third piece of advice I will tell you is remember you belong here. Some people go through their program totally confident at all times with no questions. And some people start with some self-doubt, or they get it when they get their first poor grade, or when they're struggling with a statistical concept, or their research is going awry. But you belong here. This is not undergrad where they look at your GPA and say, yes, okay, you can come in. This is a graduate school. So not only do you meet the requirements, faculty from your discipline reviewed your application. Each one of you had a faculty committee of professors made up to look at your application and say, yes, we're taking this person into the program, or no. And not everybody gets in, because faculty want sizes, class sizes that they can work with really, really well. And they want students that they know are going to be successful and they truly believe have the capacity and skills to be successful. So if they did not believe in you, and they've been doing this a long time, you would not be here tonight. So you are. So you already belong here. Many of you are juggling family, jobs, other life commitments, and still you chose to come to graduate school. That says a lot about all of you. And again, just about everyone in graduate school is an overachiever, and I understand that. But be kind to yourself. It's okay not always to get that A or to get that 100 on that stats test. You know what? Sometimes a B is the best you can do at that point in your life, and you understand that concept, and that's okay. Take care of yourself, be kind to yourself, give yourself grace and leeway, and ask for assistance when you need it, because we believe that this is exactly where you should be. And we'll be at commencement waiting for you to cross that stage during your program graduation. So with that, I just want to put out, our office is in the Faculty Center, Suite 150. We are directly down the hall from Starbucks. So if you are an on-campus student, you will know where we are, because Starbucks is the most popular place on campus. And I invite each of you to come and just pop in and see us and introduce yourself. We also will have a Grow Suite, which is Graduate Resource Opportunity Workspace, which I know you will be hearing about from Sophia a little bit later on, and that's in the library. And I hope to see you there as well. We have great professional development programs that we offer, everything from public speaking to dissertation and thesis formatting to writing for publication. I encourage you to take part in those. They are both online and on campus to meet all our student needs. So again, if you have questions or you just don't know where to turn, talk to your advisor or call our office, and we will be more than happy to answer your question or help you however that may be. It might be connecting you with the right person, or it might be something we can address then. So I wish you all a successful and uplifting spring semester and a very happy new year. And it was very nice seeing you all. And I hope I get to see you and meet you in person this semester. Bye. Thank you, Leticia.
Thank you, Dr. McCaleb. We will continue on, but before we get going, I do want to cover some business tonight with you. So if you can see the chat session, I am, let me posting in tonight's schedule real quick for so you know what is taking place the remainder of our time together. And so right after this, in about 5 minutes, we are going to talk about our Grow Suite, which is our Graduate Resource Opportunities Workspace in the library. Like the dean said, we're going to go over that because we offer a lot of resources to students, and it's a must place to go if you're a graduate student. And then after that, we'll talk about compliance and academic advising while you are here in your program. And like the dean said, tonight's orientation is to help you get going, to maybe calm the nerves for those of y'all that are coming back after a long time, or maybe you just graduated last semester and this is still a little bit daunting. Like the dean said, several of us are also graduate students. I am actually in my last semester in my program, and I went back to school after 20 years after graduating with my bachelor. So it's been a very long time since I had gone back to school. So for those of y'all who are in the same boat that I was, feel free to reach out to me if you have questions or concerns. Sophia, who some of y'all might have met in our mixer, is on the other end of the spectrum. She went back pretty much right after she finished her bachelor's. And so there was a quick continuation after that. So we kind of have both sides of the spectrum to kind of help those of y'all visiting and coming back to the university. So we are actually staying in this Zoom for our next presentation, so you don't have to go anywhere else. Tonight, we also want to put a reminder out there, that chat function that is off to the side, that is where you're going to communicate with us tonight if you have any questions. So as we do our presenting, if there's something that we are talking about that you're still not sure about, want to have us follow up, please throw a question into the chat. You can do it for everybody to see, or you can do it personally to either myself or any of the presenters, and we will try to answer those questions. Even if we are here way past when orientation ends, we will stay on the line. We typically will conclude orientation and then remain on and continue fielding questions for anybody who has them for us. At this time, though, our big question for you, and we're going to put a little Padlet for those of y'all who have never used this. I'm putting a link out into the chat. And I will actually share my screen in just a second so we can see responses from there. We want to know what you're excited about and what concerns you have for the semester. This is going to actually help guide us in our presentations tonight. And so if you want to go in, drop an image, let us know. We'll have this up for just a few minutes before we get started. We're going to have Sophia, who is our next presenter. She's going to get herself set up in just a second, but feel free. We want to know what you're feeling right now, questions you have right now. That's going to help us this evening as we address and present to you. If it's Blackboard you have thoughts about, parking, financial aid, put those out there. Let us know. You can do it on the Padlet. You can do it in the chat, wherever you feel comfortable, because we want to know what's on your mind as we get going. And one, it's also fun to see what everybody posts. So I'm gonna kind of minimize everybody's faces so I can see. Feel free to add there for a few minutes. Let's see what we have going. All I have to say, there's some already coming through. I'm a little nervous. Don't be nervous. Grad school, yes, it's something new for everybody coming through. And depending on your program, some are a little bit more intense than the others. You will survive. As I said, I'm in my last semester. Sophia, who will be next presenting, she's in her last semester. One of our other presenters is in her doctoral program and kind of midway. And there are more people on our staff who have come through and gone through it. You will survive and you will get through it, and we will get through it together. That's why we are here tonight because we are those resources for you. You will see us in Grow, which we're going to talk about. And we are here to help you with that. So don't be nervous. I see a lot about that. You will get a plan. First day of classes, those professors will get those syllabuses ready for you, just explain them. You will be all right. I like that image from Airplane. I understand that. I see about Canvas. Blackboard's not bad. If you're used to Canvas, you will be able to do Blackboard. You'll be okay. Online isn't bad. My whole program is online. I see that. We'll address a lot of this in just a little bit as well. I'm just kind of spot checking as we go and filling a little bit of time as Sophia gets ready, but feel free to keep posting those concerns. I'm going to stop sharing so Sophia can get her presentation up and running, and maybe at the end we'll post some more. So Sophia, if you're ready.
Excuse me, Professor.
Yes.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Will this meeting be recorded?
It is being recorded right now.
Okay.
After orientation, once we download it, we will upload it to our orientation page on our website. I'll put that address up in just a second so that you can see that. You will also receive after orientation tonight an email from us that will have the evaluation as part of it, and we will send out the link. So you will get it as an email as well from us on where to go. So good question. Yes, it is being recorded.
Thank you so much. Because I'm actually in California, and my degree is going to be kinesiology. I'm Texas A&M actually is my dream school. I'm excited, a little bit nervous. I'm actually just got off work from a clinic because I'm trying to get experiences while I'm studying. And I jumped on a little bit late.
Well, wonderful. Thank you for joining us from California. Congratulations also.
Thank you so much.
We will, as I said, if you put something in the chat and we're not addressing it, we will get to it. Stay on the line. Even all the way to orientation, it takes us sometimes a little bit of time. There's about 3 or 4 of us watching the chat. And we will try to address you either through the chat or we'll speak up in our presentation. Okay, so bear with us and we will get through. Let me see real quick. Are we taking attendance? Real quick, be sure you check in. I'll put the link out there in case you have not. We use that for our tuition drawings that we do later on. And so we base that off of our attendance. Tonight, winners will get an email. So if you're a winner, you'll get an email with that information. So on that note, we will move this over to Sophia. And she has actually put the check-in link in the chat right now. So at this time, I want to bring on Sophia Vining, who is one of our coordinators. She is responsible for outreach and compliance, and I will let her take over at this time.
All right, I've met most of you in the mixer, but thank you for logging in. I'm very excited that you're here. Give me just a second as I share my screen here. Let me see.
And share and share.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Leticia. So like Leticia said, my name is Sophia and I work in the College of Graduate Studies, but I'm also a graduate student in the Public Administration program. And I'm very excited to be here to talk to you about GROW. GROW is our Graduate Resource Opportunity Workspace. So basically, we like to think of GROW as a hub for graduate students, a place to come, connect with other graduate students, maybe meet with your faculty, learn about resources on campus. A lot of our students come and grab a cup of coffee and have conversations with us. Maybe you come to print out some your syllabus or whatever the case may be. We really like to think of ourselves as a place for all grad students to come and connect and really just feel welcome on campus. So we touched base a little bit on resources and workshops, and Dr. McCaleb talked a little bit about what we offer, but we have an extensive variety of workshops and events that we host and grow. You know, we usually have welcome week events, APA formatting, technical and scientific writing, professional graduate writing. So maybe those of you that have been out of school for a little bit, or even if you're jumping from your bachelor's degree right into a master's degree, you're really going to see the difference in professional graduate writing. So these are some helpful workshops that we like to offer our students, really, again, as a resource. I'm going to say that word a lot because that's really what we think of ourselves as, a resource. Thesis and dissertation workshops, those are going to be really big when you start to get in, when you start getting into writing. We have a huge week in April called Graduate Student Appreciation Week, and that is actually taking place April 4th through the 8th. And so that is just a week full of fun. We also recognize some of our amazing graduate students and faculty on campus for their outstanding accomplishments and their outstanding work with A&M Corpus Christi. We host a 3MT, which is a 3-minute thesis competition. We have events where we give away goodies. And usually students, whether you're on or off campus, can participate in some of our contests that we host on our social media pages. And you'll get our social media handles here in just a second. So even though you might not be on campus, there's still plenty of opportunities for you to participate in our workshops and our events. And we'd love to see you on our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages. And again, I'll show you that in just a minute. We also host a variety of social events. So you can come into GROW, and occasionally we'll have free food where you can come and pick up food. We'll have, we always have coffee, and I'll let David and Brianna in just a second chat about that, but we always have coffee. There are times you could walk in, maybe we have breakfast or a dinner to pick up before you go to class. So lots of things going on in GROW. We tend to have at least one social event a month, if not more than that, because we really just want to get our students in and talk with them and make sure that y'all are doing okay. So GROW is actually located in the library. We recently moved spaces, which is very exciting. We're super excited to welcome you into our new space if you're able to be on campus. We're located on the first floor of the library. So if you've never been on campus before, you walk into the library, you're going to go straight past the circulation desk, past the elevators, and right through some glass double doors. We're going to be on the left-hand side. And I think the best thing about GROW as a graduate student, I went to school here for my undergrad as well. The library can be kind of noisy. Undergraduate students can be very loud and talky, and sometimes the library in general just isn't a very quiet place to study because there are a lot of group places where students can go and do group projects and things like that. GROW offers a very different experience. So you're not going to walk into GROW and it's not going to have this, like, you know, the only students allowed in GROW are grad students. So you have to use your student ID card to get in. So you'll swipe your card and it'll unlock the door and you can come in and use our services. We're open whenever the library is open. So the library has some really great hours. They open at 7:30 in the morning, and days they're open until 1:30 in the morning. So pretty extensive hours if you're here on campus. Again, we talked about in the mixer, maybe you're a morning person and you like to do your stuff in the morning, or maybe you're an evening person. We hopefully have hours that work with your schedule. And so that's pretty exciting. Someone said, where can we get our student ID card? It's going to be in the University Center. We have a $100 ID card office. And I'll make sure I circle back around to that at the end with just some questions. Okay. Again, we like to provide a really great experience for our students when they come in to Grow. So when you come in, we ask that you check in and you let us know, maybe you're there to use a computer to do research, maybe you're there to print something, maybe you just came in for a cup of coffee because you're in between classes or a snack or something like that. So we just ask that you check in for us, let us know why you're there. And that also helps provide services for our students later on down the road. We want to make sure that we have resources and services inside of Grow that are really going to help you succeed. And so you checking in and letting us know that you're coming, first of all, lets us know that our services are being put to good use, but also lets us know what services you might need as a student as well. So our reservation check-in system is pretty simple. We also have QR codes that you can scan when you walk through the door. So if you don't want to use the iPad, you can scan the QR code with your phone, input your information, and we have our lovely GAs that are there, usually from 9 to 4 every day. We'll have one of our graduate assistants there. I have David and Bree on the line. If you just want to introduce yourselves and kind of let them know a little bit about Grow and maybe just tell them what program you're in. So if they come to Grow, they'll see your friendly face.
Hello, everybody. I'm Brianna. I am in my second semester in the counseling program. Grow is really just a place where you can network, or you can study quietly, or you just want to get a cup of coffee like Sophia said, or even grab a snack. Sometimes we actually do have snacks and those are amazing. But honestly, it's just for your enjoyment and for you to just grow as a student.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is David. I'm also a GA and in my second semester, or going into my second semester of the counseling program. And I mean, really, that pretty much covers it. I would say coffee is our most popular amenity, but we will offer events throughout the semester. Those are very popular. So like this last semester during finals, every day during finals, we had some kind of even more substantial snack. Like I know we gave away Chick-fil-A one day. But we have students come in pretty regularly who form groups and they study together. That's one of the benefits of, I think, a smaller university. Is you really get to the small classes, you get to know your classmates. So we had people coming in all the time. They would practice defending their dissertations or stuff like that in our small study rooms that you can also come in and reserve. So really, if you're just looking for a place where maybe you need help or just want to meet somebody who could help, or just want to work alone and have coffee and a snack while you do that, perfect. We're always here for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Bree and David. Appreciate your input. They are the ones that are going to be sitting behind the desk, answering questions and making sure that the Keurig always has water in it. And they really do help our students that come in a lot, whether they're helping them with computers or answering questions. Again, we like to think of Grow as a resource center. So I always tell students, if you're not sure where to go to Grow, because we always want to make sure that you get your questions answered. So whether you're not sure where to go, if you come on in and maybe we don't know the answer, we're going to find it for you. And we want to make sure that your life as a student is as smooth as possible, however we can help you in that way. Okay. All right. So just some reminders. These are all of our social media handles, our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you have those social media platforms, definitely follow us. We post some funny stuff. We also post when we have Chick-fil-A and some cool stuff in Grow, so if you're on campus. But even if you're a distance student, we host contests on social media all the time where we give away some cool prizes. So even if you're not here on campus, you can still participate in some of our contests. So we'd love to see you on there. Whatever we post, you can say hi or comment or all that fun stuff. Down there, you'll also see our email and our phone number. Feel free to reach out to us if you have questions, comments, concerns. Again, email us if you're not sure who to email, and we can definitely find out who that might be for you. We are working on our schedule of events for spring, and that should be up any day now. So we're excited to share that with you. Come on into Grow. I know we talk about being a resource center, and maybe you come into Grow because you have questions, but we definitely just want you to come in. So even though you might not have a question, but you just want to come check us out, we encourage you to do that. Don't wait till the last minute when you do need real help and maybe it's time sensitive. Know where we're at, come and check us out, ask us questions. We want to make sure that you know that we're here for you. take advantage of our virtual resources, whether that's our workshops, or maybe we point you in the direction of virtual resources around campus, like our tutoring center, our writing center, our counseling center, our health clinic. You know, we're able to point you in all of those directions. So whether we might not offer that service directly, we can definitely make sure that we get you there for sure. And then, like I said previously, make sure you connect with us on social media. That's also a good way to reach out to us. We monitor those regularly. So if you have questions and maybe you forget our email, but you're following us on Twitter, feel free to shoot us a message there. We're happy to answer those questions. And again, don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to help, and we're very excited that you're here on the island with us, whether in person or virtually. Awesome. So that's kind of the end of this GROW presentation. Really, I wanted to just let you know the services that we offer and the, you know, where we're located, all of those things. So does anybody have any questions? I know we had some questions in the chat about Sand Dollar ID cards.
And
Yes.
real quick, Sophie, I was gonna say, if you will, can you talk real quickly about types of workshops we typically schedule there in GROW?
Yeah, so one of the most popular workshops is our professional graduate writing workshop, which Dr. Oliver, who's our associate dean here in the college, usually hosts. Like I mentioned earlier, whether you've been out of school for 10, 20 years, or maybe you're jumping from your bachelor's right into your master's degree, professional graduate writing is very different than what you might be used to. So that's a super popular workshop that we host. We have a thesis and dissertation series that we host every semester, where we have faculty from different disciplines talk about different parts of thesis and dissertation, where they talk about research, gathering data, collecting data, analyzing data, things like that. We have Surviving Grad School, which it sounds like some of you might be nervous, and I think that's a totally normal reaction. We have Miss Anna Salazar from the Counseling Center, who does a great workshop on surviving grad school. She talks a lot about prioritizing time, scheduling your time. So that's super popular as well. And there's lots of different workshops, but academic workshops, and like I said, even some just like surviving grad school workshops, we offer all of those on in GROW. And if we've hosted a workshop previously that maybe we're not hosting in the upcoming semester, all of our workshops are located on our YouTube page, and I'd be happy to put that link down, so you can always go and browse the workshops that we've had before and see if any of them pertain to you. I definitely recommend the Surviving Grad School one. It might be a good one to start off with, but we have a variety of workshops for our students. Yeah. I see some courses on Blackboard may be required proctoring fees. So some proctoring fees aren't covered in tuition, and it just depends on the site or the lockdown browser that is required of your program. And are any of the workshops hosted online or virtually? Yeah, so we host them at the same time, in person and virtual. So if you're a distance student, or maybe you can't make it to campus that day, we definitely offer them in that dual format. So you can come in to GROW and have that workshop in person, or we stream it live. So whether you're here in Corpus and you can't make it onto campus, or whether you're in California or New Jersey, y'all are from all over the place in the mixer. So wherever you're from, you definitely have access to those live sessions as well. And again, everything we do is recorded. So maybe the time doesn't work for you. You can always go back and review the recording. And the faculty and staff that give these presentations are really great. They always provide their contact information at the end of the presentation. So if maybe you're watching it on YouTube and there's questions that come up, you can always email them. They're really awesome about responding to students. So I definitely advise you to do that as well. Yeah, and you would just check our website. So we're in the process of getting that schedule up and going. Whenever that does come up, we'll shoot it out to all of our enrolled graduate students. So you should be getting an email when the schedule is up and live. Where can I find to my faculty? Leticia, was there anything else you wanted me to cover really quick, or you just want me to go through the comments?
I think, go ahead and continue with the comments that I see. I see Amanda answered about the advisors. That's going to be in the next session. So if you're wondering who your advisor is, we'll help you in the next one. But yeah, I just wanted to throw out there in case people were interested in and looking forward to what our workshops were going to be this semester. So we do a lot of workshops. There's probably at least 10 to 12 that we host for the semester. So it could be everything from our academic ones. We also put some that are more towards personal and social, things of that nature, career oriented.
Mhm.
So we do run several, and what you see in the spring may not be what we have in the fall. So we kind of rotate the schedule so that, you know, you're not seeing the same presentation every semester from Grow. So we will put that schedule out as soon. We're hoping for this week, but if not, it'll definitely be at the start of school next Tuesday. Let's see, questions are coming through, I see.
Okay, let's see. How many exams, quizzes do you have per 7-week course? So Heather, it kind of just depends on your faculty. I think they're pretty fast-paced classes like that. You tend to have pretty big assignments every week, I would say. But again, it's kind of up to your faculty. I think you should have access to your syllabus. I'm assuming on Sunday or early Monday. So you'll be able to kind of start planning those things out and figuring out when those assignments are due. And you get to pick the date/time that you get to take it. I know I keep saying this, but it really does depend on your faculty. Some of them open it for maybe on Thursday from 4 to 6 p.m., right? That's just an example. Or maybe they give you a couple of days to take that exam or quiz. So that should all be listed in your syllabus. Sure, no problem.
And real quick, so Heather, my program is a 7-week program. And so my faculty, typically we have a pretty big assignment every week, but we don't typically test every single week, but we know about it in advance. Now that's not to say there won't be like a mini quiz or something, but tests they typically don't do on a weekly basis. So, but again, it might be different per program. So definitely check with your faculty. And if you have a concern about that, like we always say, and we've said tonight, check in with your professor for that specific class. Let them know your concerns, and they will help you through that. So if you have a concern about that, definitely talk with your faculty when you start the semester.
Excuse me, Professor, I have a quick question.
Sure.
So I noticed like for my program, it's gonna be like a 2 years program. So when is the thesis like, would you recommend to get started, and how does that look like? Because as you were mentioning, it's gonna be a really fast paced. So I kind of wanted to know like how can I prepare for that, and do I need to figure out like which specific division I should go to in the first year?
Okay. So
I'm happy to take that.
Okay.
If you'd like.
Sure, go for it.
That's okay. Basically, different programs have different expectations for their thesis versus non-thesis track. So depending on your program, they may have your courses laid out in such a way that the courses will actually be pointing you into your thesis project in which you'll be working on it. The faculty that you will have will be talking to you about your thesis, or if you're a doctoral student, your dissertation throughout, and will guide you as to when you should start, what projects should be used for your literature review, things of that nature. So one thing you may want to do is take advantage early on before you get content heavy into the professional writing
Yes.
workshops that we have, because that often can be a bit of a challenge for students.
Got it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You are most welcome.
Let's see, which other ones? As again, we'll get through advisors in just a second. I see some about requirements for your programs. They'll touch a little bit on program requirements. We won't delve into it too specifically, but we'll touch just a tiny bit on that. You can always go to your program's website. And I highly recommend it because not only will you find program information, but also your graduate handbook, which is a must read. So be sure to read the graduate handbook. And there is a handbook for your program. So go read those. It talks about the ins and outs of your programs. It has your degree plan usually posted as well for you to look at. And when all else fails, reach out to that advisor for information. I see there's where are the handbooks. You will go to your program page. So I would start off tamucc.edu, click under academics, find your college, and then find your program. And they are listed there, usually under the introduction, about all your program, things like that. They're usually right there, and they'll say graduate handbook. For some programs, there are more than one thing that they want you to read. Sometimes there are handbooks for qualifications for exams later on in your program, things of that nature. So always go back and forth to your program's websites. They are a true resource for you.
I think you have a hand raised. Catherine, did you have a question?
Yes, I'm sorry. I just wanted to also add, just to check, I know I wasn't great at it in the beginning, but to check your student emails as well, not just your personal, because I missed these and I just saw them Friday. But there's some emails that were sent, actually Saturday, that were sent for different orientations for this week, depending on, like for me, it's Department of Counseling and Educational Psychology. So we have our individual, orientation on Thursday. So you might see something of your program in an email under the TAMUCC email, just to say.
Yes, definitely. You want to check your Islander email. Even if you applied, you use Google, your Yahoo, whatever account you use, the university always reverts to Islander email for communications. So you can always set your Islander email to send those messages to your personal one, but the university does do our messaging to your university email. So always check that all the time. That is where we send notifications as well. Also, if you have not signed up for our alert system, now might be a good time to do that since the start of the semester. That's how the university makes announcements about everything from weather, things like that on campus. So you set up that alert if you haven't already. All of this is located, well, the alert system is through SAIL, that you can go in and set that up, amongst other things. So always, also SAIL is a resource if you have not logged into SAIL to see what is listed for yourself. I would go, and Sophia's put the link for Blue Code in there as well. And Amanda has put in our look like handbooks as well. Thank you, Catherine. That was a good thing to drop in there.
Thank
Those
you.
of us
Yeah.
those of us that have been at the university for a long time always tend to forget some of those things.
I
And those
teach
are
at
helpful
Del Mar.
reminders.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I teach at Del Mar, and that's something I tell my students to do all the time, and yet I didn't do it this time. So I said, you know what, I need to check my student email just in case, and it was there.
No problem. No problem. Thank you for that reminder.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, well, I think for the moment, we're going to wrap up this round of questions because we want to get on to our next session because we know y'all have a lot of questions about that. So let me go ahead and we'll get this going. Let's see. Just a moment, real quick.
Awesome. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Having some, here we go. You see it still? There we go. Okay, so welcome to compliance and academic advising. We're excited that you're here. I know you've heard me talk a lot tonight. So before we get into the bulk of things, just to go over a little bit of what we're going to be talking about tonight. We're going to meet your academic advisors, which is very exciting. We're going to go over some College of Graduate Studies information. Really what we want to do here is explore our website. It's going to be a really great tool and resource for you. I know we've shared a lot of links today and that might be just overwhelming. So we want to make sure we show you where all the things are located on our website. And then we'll give you some contact information for us. So I'm going to go ahead and let my colleague Amanda introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Amanda Bocanegra. I am the Audit and Compliance Coordinator for the College of Graduate Studies. And so I do a lot of making sure that all students are ready for graduation come that time. One of my primary job duties is graduation clearance, as well as academic standing. So making sure that GPA is where it needs to be at the conclusion of the terms. Those are two of my big tasks. And so I'll be talking with Sophia today about making sure that y'all are ready for each term that you tackle and making sure that you meet grad requirements.
And you've already met me multiple times, but I also do just a little bit of compliance with Amanda. She does the bulk of it. But students that get to their thesis and dissertation, when you start submitting that work for publication, our office is the office that reviews it before it gets sent off and bound and all that fun stuff. So part of my job is reviewing those thesis and dissertation, making sure they look beautiful before we send them off. And I work with Amanda on that as well. And then obviously we work with Grow and a lot of that fun stuff as well.
All right, so I did forget to mention that I also supervise the graduate academic advisors here at the university under the College of Graduate Studies. Right now, we do have a vacancy on our team, and so I am also the academic advisor for College of Liberal Arts graduate students. So my contact information is here. I have advised in a previous life as well. I did that for almost 7 years at the undergrad level. So I'm very, very familiar with academic advising and happy to help all the liberal arts students until we do have someone full-time in that position.
Hello, I'm Samuel Ramos. I'm the graduate academic advisor for the College of Science and Engineering. Been in the position for a little bit since March, so almost a year. And so along with Amanda, I'm also familiar with advising. We actually came from a similar background. But I do assist with quite a few majors. Those who have already worked with me, this is officially me. But any questions about registration, any questions about forms or attendance or degree plans, whatever questions that, when it comes to that, definitely my students do reach out to me and try to help them as best as I can or provide them the best direction. But with science and engineering, it's quite a few majors. Some majors have more students than others, but I try to give everybody equal time. So I always recommend that when students do reach out to me, make sure you give me as much detail as you can so I can answer your questions appropriately.
Thank you, Sam.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to orientation. And I do cover the College of Education. I was in College of Nursing for 2 years. It's my 5th year as a graduate academic advisor. I did 2.5 years over in College of Nursing, but my doctorate is in education, higher education to be specific. So I am just delighted to be in the College of Ed. For all of you master's and doctoral students, really here to support you, get you through the wonderful journey that is higher ed. In the College of Ed, it's a little bit different in that our faculty advisors are super involved in your degree sequencing and helping you pick out what classes you'll take each semester and having those career conversations. I am more in there as a liaison to the College of Graduate Studies. So I'm here to kind of point you in the right direction when bumps or things come up, enrollment issues, things like that. I'm here to definitely help you troubleshoot and to liaison between admissions, registrar, College of Graduate Studies, whatever I can do. Most of you like to do this digitally, so do I. But do feel like you can pop your head into my office if you want to. I do like visitors if you're ever in town, but welcome. And I hope you guys have an awesome first semester.
Thank you,
Hi,
Alex.
excuse me, Professor Shaw. Oh, is she still here?
Yes, I am.
Oh, hi, Professor Shaw. My name is Dawei. I just want to say thank you so much again for helping me get into the program.
Well, sir, you did that on your own. I just put forms and things together, but I'm glad that you had a good experience.
Thank you so much. I'm the student that's from the California and will be doing the kinesiology master online.
Well, I'll tell you what, thank you for saying, oh, so kind of you. And one of the best parts about this position is that I get to be there to kind of open the door and usher you in. And then hopefully when you go get graduated, I'll be there to help you fix your hood before you march in. It's a wonderful position to see you guys through. So thank you for your kind words.
And thank you so much. I'm so excited for the semester.
Yeah. I like him.
This school is my dream school. I really appreciate it for all your help.
Oh, Copters.
Thank you, Alex.
Hello and welcome. I hope you will have an awesome first semester. Unlike the other graduate advisors, I have not been doing this for so long. So I only started working basically in early November. And I am the graduate advisor for the College of Nursing and Health Science. I come from the faculty side, so I've been a college instructor, and like everybody else, I will help you to get through the programs. I will help you with forms, leaves of absence, getting into classes, and will point you in the hopefully right directions for questions that I cannot answer myself. And feel free to reach out to me via email, or if you want to have a Zoom meeting, that's not a problem. And like Alex, if you happen to be on campus and want to pop into my office, please feel free to do so.
Awesome. Thank you, Connie.
And for the College of Business, we do have Miss Sharon Polanski. She's really the director of academic programs there. And so she has a couple of individuals under her who work as kind of coordinators for assisting students in the College of Business. And so we have her contact information here as well. Feel free to reach out to her. And we can always link the College of Business webpage a little bit later for the other individuals who work on her team, but she would be the main contact for students.
Yes, thank you. So thank you to all of our advisors and Amanda for being here with us. And it's great. I know I'm sure to put a face to the name of somebody that you might have been talking about. So thank you for being here. I just want to remind you as we move forward, we're going to do just a little bit of information as we go forward. So just make sure if you have questions, you're more than welcome to use the chat box. We'd love to hear if you have questions and we want to make sure that they get answered. So feel free to use the chat box as we move forward. Okay, Amanda, you want to go? You want me to jump in?
If you want to open up that first link, that's going to link to our webpage, College of Graduate Studies. And really, it's what I had linked before in the chat. Take a little bit to open up. So if we just scroll down to our current students, there's a lot of other areas to click on, but current students is where we'll start. And we have a lot of resources here on our current students page. Depending if you're a doctoral student or master's student, we'll have resources there. And our contact us is going to be linked there, but let's go ahead and just go to the master's students area. So in here, we have a couple of things linked. So we have our graduate catalog. We can open that up. That's the second link anyways. I'll kind of just go off of it. But the catalog is really, or maybe we can use the link on the PowerPoint at a later time.
Yeah, I'll have to. I don't know why it's doing that.
That's fine. But we do have the catalog link there. We do have the Master Student Handbook. Which is going to go through the overarching policies and procedures, graduation requirements, things like that, that apply to all grad students. So some of the things that Dean McCaleb had mentioned before, like for master students, courses do need to be completed within 7 years. There's also for certain programs, other items, but you can find a little bit lower under the Master Student Program Handbooks. If there's specific questions regarding your program, we do have all the handbooks linked there as well. So those work together, the overarching handbook and then the program handbook as well. So we do encourage you to look both of those over. I know in all the spare time that y'all will have now, those are always good places to start whenever you have questions. The other thing that's important here would be our important master's dates. I did see a question previously about when are the workshops. That's one place you can find us putting that information out regarding workshops. We'll put them here on this webpage along with our social medias. Really, the calendars are very important as you approach graduation. We put a lot of the dates related to graduation on the important dates. And so there are a number of forms depending on thesis, non-thesis track, doctoral students, many forms are in your future. And right now, the big thing is just kind of being aware where the resources are and connecting, which you will do with your faculty advisors and your academic advisors. That's what we're there for. We'll let you know, hey, these are the form deadlines, or hey, you're approaching, we need this form. Don't feel like that's something that you need to keep in your head. We try to keep those resources out there. And I see you hovering over the checklist. You're welcome to open that. We do have a master's checklist and a doctoral checklist as well. And the checklist for our master students really applies to those pursuing the thesis track. Thesis is a little bit more intensive in terms of the paperwork that we need, just because there's some policies and procedures related to committees and things like that. So if you're on thesis track or you are a doctoral student, that's going to be really important. You can always print out that checklist, just to have or bookmark that.
Now the thing that comes down when you're sharing your screen won't let me click on the link I was on. Okay, there we go. No, that's not it.
We can go back to
there we go.
And so we went over the master's quite a bit. Let's go into the doctoral. So we do have a full doctoral student page. Again, mirroring the master's, we have a handbook, we have an important dates. Sophia talked a little bit about templates. When you start to get ready to write your dissertation or your thesis, we do have templates available that you would need to follow, because we will be checking those guidelines in the end. And so those are always available. Our website's probably the most up-to-date place, because that's where we will link any new forms, or we'll update templates as we update them.
Are there any questions on what we've covered so far in the presentation? Feel free to put it in the chat. And I know Leticia is monitoring the chat, so if something comes up, definitely, if you have a question, and you don't want to forget it, just type it out and we'll make sure that we get to it.
And we can go back to the PowerPoint, unless there was something else you wanted to cover.
Yeah, I know we talked a little bit in Grow. I just want to kind of show you what that website looks like. I was going to wait till we could click on all the links. When you get to our website, you're going to see just a little bit about us, our mission, hours of operation. You can click on our reservation system here, and it just gives you a little idea of where we're located. Again, with our phone number, email, social media handles, and all that fun stuff. If you're looking for workshops and events, you're going to see this index over here, this menu options. We have different options for workshops and events, calendar, welcome week, our grad week, which is our biggest week in Grow, and we're very excited about that. We're working on the schedule now, like I mentioned, in April. You can also link back to the grad studies website and just learn a little bit more about some of the services that we offer on campus. So just like Amanda said, if you're looking for the most up-to-date information, our website's definitely going to be the first place you want to head to. Or you can pick up the phone and call us, because we're happy to answer those over the phone or email as well. But our website's a great resource for you at your fingertips. So hopefully you take advantage of that as well. So I'm going to come back over here.
I think we want to go maybe to the catalog really quick.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Because we didn't, just so they can see what it looks like.
Let me go back to grad studies. Can you get to it from here? Oh, yeah, here it is. Sorry, I always forget. Our website's still pretty new to everyone, so.
Yeah, and pretty much everything that you're looking for is like .tamucc.edu something. So catalog.tamucc.edu is where you can find our online catalog. And there is a specific graduate section you can click on the left-hand menu. And that'll take you to an overview of everything graduate related, policies, procedures, degree requirements, and it is broken down as well by program. So if we go ahead and click into like College of Education and then programs, it will list all the programs offered. And let's go into Educational Leadership, EDD, or whichever one. I know it's hard to read it.
There it is.
There's going to be an overview and then a tab for admission requirements. Most importantly, I think students look at the program requirements and then the courses as well. So there's a lot of information available online. I always tell students, this is a great resource along with your handbooks, but also your faculty and your academic advisors will help you to kind of make sense of it all.
Yeah, absolutely. Was there anything else on here, Amanda, that you wanted to cover? Before I
Not
turn
in the
back to
catalog.
PowerPoint? No?
No.
Did you want me to go back to the main website?
No, I think the only other thing was on the PowerPoint was DegreeWorks.
Oh, okay.
And as Sophia is moving the PowerPoint, this is Dean McCaleb again. I just want to reinforce that there is a lot of information coming your way right now. The slides will be available. We are available. You've met your advisors, you've met the entire CGS team pretty much. You know where to find us. And I would say when you have time, look at your website, look at the College of Graduate Study website, and look at your program website. I think might take some of maybe the nervousness down a little bit because you'll be a bit more familiar with it. We know that there is a lot coming at you. And that is the nature, unfortunately, of starting a new endeavor, especially one such as this. We all kind of go through it when we enter a graduate school, and undergrad was a difficult time as well, but it was set up differently. But do not let all of this make you anxious or provide you stress or keep you up at night, because this is not the hard part. What you just need to do is remember to reach out to your advisor, reach out to Grow, reach out to our office located in the faculty center, and we will help you. So you don't have to memorize everything. We want it so you can just focus on your discipline. So be aware of this, become familiar with it this semester throughout, but ask for guidance as issues arise. And we expect you to, we want you to. So go ahead, Sophia. I just know if I were sitting in your seat, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I can't remember all this. That is okay.
Absolutely. And like Dean McCaleb said, everything will be recorded. So don't feel like you have to memorize every word that we've said so far. So that's great. Thank you, Dr. McCaleb.
I think the last thing I wanted to touch on was just DegreeWorks. DegreeWorks, that's where you can access your online degree plan. And so you're able to log in with your Island ID and password. So the same thing that you use to access your email, access Blackboard, you should be able to just log into DegreeWorks. It's going to bring up your current degree. Your advisor should be listed, your academic advisor. Typically, faculty advisors are not always listed there. Those can be assigned once you start program and can change depending on your trajectory and program, whoever's on your thesis committee, things like that. So DegreeWorks is just a great starting place to get an overview of your degree requirements. It will look at calculating your GPA for you as you progress. It does update as you take courses. So as you enroll, you'll see courses kind of in progress, and as you complete, you'll start seeing that updated. So again, DegreeWorks is a great place to, just another resource for you. We do recommend checking it every term, especially when grades post, and always reaching out again to your advisor, to us, to your faculty advisor. If you have any questions at all about something maybe showing funny or not understanding course sequence, things like that.
Yeah, that's great. And I, as a student, I love my DegreeWorks. It's super helpful. It lays literally everything out for you, and you can just see your progress. So whenever you're done with the class, it'll give it a little check mark, and you can move on to the next one. So DegreeWorks is definitely a great resource that we have on campus. Okay, so the last thing we want to touch on is we actually just want to give you information. We want to make sure that you know that we're here for you, like Dean McCaleb said, from start to finish. And however we can help you get to that finish line, we definitely want to be there. Like Alex said, fixing your hood or whatever during graduation. So please don't hesitate to email, call, follow us on social media. We want to make sure that you stay connected, that you don't feel alone in this process, whether you're excited, nervous, scared. We are here every step of the way. So please give us a call, send us an email, or just stop by. We'd love to meet you and we'd love to see you here on campus. And we look forward to working with each and every one of you. But with that being said, does anybody have any questions about this presentation? I know at the end of after everything's over, we'll address any questions or concerns that you might have had throughout the program, but we just want to make sure that everyone feels good about the information that we just provided.
So Sophia, I do have a few questions, and this can be for any staff, any of us that are on to help address. There was one a little bit ago about parking on campus. So yes, if you are parking on campus, you do need a parking permit. There was a question though about classes. If you are taking online classes, do you need a parking permit? It's Sophia, would you like to address?
Yeah, so like Leticia mentioned, if you're on campus, you do have to purchase a parking permit, whether you want to park in any of our surface lots. We also have a garage. So if you log into SAIL, and if you haven't done so, I encourage you to do so before classes start. And I'll put the link in the chat here in just a second. SAIL is another one of our platforms where you can check a lot of things like financial aid status and things like that. But that's also where you can purchase your parking permit. And so you will need a permit so you don't get ticketed while you're parking on campus. I think the first week is usually like a grace period, but I really wouldn't wait that long. So if you are going to be on campus for classes on Tuesday, please make sure you log into SAIL and get your parking permits.
Let's see. I know so that there's some specific questions regarding students and their particular programs. I'm going to leave those till the very end, and we'll try to address some of those individually. Back to the parking. Yes, even at night, you need a permit. Even at night.
Yes. I just put a link to the parking services website, so feel free to check that out. It gives you kind of an overview of the lots that we have along with pricing. So definitely check that out. But yeah, you're definitely going to want a parking permit because I promise you it's worth it than getting ticket after ticket for not having a permit. So definitely make sure you take care of that. And if you are coming to campus on Tuesday or next week, if you're here in person, feel free to come in to Grow. And if you have these questions, we can definitely sit you down at a computer and make sure you get help with all of that. Or if you're online, I'm happy to answer phone calls and walk you through it as well. How do you check your email? So on campus, we use Outlook. And so it's outlook.tamucc.edu. You can log in using your Island ID, which is usually the first letter of your first name, your last name, and maybe a number, along with whatever email or whatever password you've set up with that. Will there be a Blackboard? Yes, we are working on our Blackboard tutorial right now, and that should be up in the next week to give you a better idea. But if you have specific questions that I can help you with, I'm happy to do that as far as maybe accessing Blackboard, logging in, looking at courses and whatnot. And do you need your ID before Tuesday classes? No, you don't need it before. You can always come onto campus and get your ID any day or time that you're here. The Sand Dollar office is usually open from 8 to 5 in the University Center. So if ever you get a break in the day, you can definitely go to the University Center and get that ID card. Am I missing some, Lat? I feel like they're coming and I don't want to miss anyone's question.
No, and I was addressing some individually. Blackboard, check your email. I think we're kind of caught up. Oh, we will put the YouTube link out in the chat in just a second. We'll find that for you and put it out there.
For previous workshops. I will get that
Yes,
ready.
for previous workshops. We'll put that out there in just a second. Like Sophia said, we will stay on after this is over and continue answering questions, especially if you have some individual ones and that you don't want to share with the entire group. We will stay on, but let me just do some quick reminders since we've hit the 7 o'clock hour. We will follow up with orientation information. You'll probably get an email tomorrow with links for our recorded session. That will also take you to the slides, because I know there was a question about would y'all be able to get copies of the slides. We'll provide that information along with some of the links that we have discussed tonight in the program. From that email, as always, if there's something that comes to mind after we conclude and maybe it pops up to you at midnight tonight and you have a question, feel free to follow up with us on that. We want to continue to answer your questions. Like we've said, and we probably sound like a broken record at this point, but we are, your resources to get you going this semester. So we thank you for your time. Thank you to all of our presenters and staff who have presented tonight. And thank you to all of y'all for joining us. We want to wish you well on your semester. And we know we'll be seeing y'all around campus. Again, come visit us and grow, because we would love to meet with y'all and get to know y'all. We will be staying on for a little while longer. So if you have questions, please stay on the chat and we will help answer them for you. And at this time, again, thank you. And we will go ahead and conclude tonight's orientation. But please stay on if you have questions and we will help get you through those tonight before you get off the line. So thank you again. And I think that's it. Thank you so much. For CGS staff, if you just want to stay on for just a second, and then we'll go back to answering questions in just a minute.
So the next question that I see is from Henry about connecting with other students after this. That's a great question. So we talked a little bit about workshops and social events that GROW offers. Those are definitely going to be a great connection and network opportunity, but also just meeting students within your program and in the classes that you take. I think that's going to be a great opportunity for you to meet students that have similar interests and that are studying the same thing you are, but also coming to GROW and meeting students in different disciplines that have different interests. I think that's going to be a great way to connect with students on campus. And GROW is not the only organization that offers events. We do ours specifically for grad students, but there's events all over campus. Every week it seems like campus has new events. So I definitely encourage you to either get involved or attend university events, GROW events. And I think that should really help you make connections with students on campus.
I think,
Sure.
Connie, I don't know if you saw that there's a nursing question about orientation.
No, I did not see that. Could you read it out for me, please?
Yeah, so they're asking if nursing has a specific orientation.
They had an undergrad orientation, but I am not aware of an orientation for graduate students.
Okay.
So I don't think they do. If anybody has questions, please shoot me an email or call me and I will try to help you out.
Okay, and we will double check. Actually, I will message the student who asked the question real quick, try to get some contact information. That way we can send some specific information.
Excellent. Yes.
Hey everyone.
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Meenakshi. I am a prospective spring student for computer science, master's in computer science. So I just, I was trying to register for the classes, but we are not getting an option to register for the classes. Would Samuel be able to help us out on this one?
I am here. It depends on the issue with the course. Is it giving you a prerequisite error or is it closed seating?
It's close C. I mean, I tried looking for courses, but it's not available.
Right. In the event when the course is closed, we are encouraging the students to go ahead and reach out to the professors to see if it's possible to increase seats, because that will originate from the professor. If it does, then the professor will communicate either to myself or to the administrative assistant. In the meantime, though, when you do reach out to the professor, I'm encouraging students to work with me to make sure that there are no other barriers in registering for the course. That way, should it be approved, that when you do go and register, it is fluid. There are no issues. So if there's a list of courses that you are interested in registering for, email me the list so that way I can take a look and make sure that there are no other issues with the course that would require any type of action of me going into the system. So if that's the case, then I can take care of it then. And if the professor does decide to allow for increased seating, then there would be no issue at that point. So you would just go in and try to register for the class. But I'm definitely recommending students reach out to me via email and give me a list of the courses. That way I can take a look and that way I can work with you in the meantime. But I am encouraging students to reach out to the professor too as well. That may take a little bit longer than my response, but it is something that it's the protocol that, definitely with the closed course, you do need to reach out to the professor of the course or courses.
Okay, and another question that I had was, do we have any specific courses that, will be taught or will not be taught on this semester? Like, I just emailed you for database, right? Introduction to database systems. So you told me that it's not available for this semester. Any other courses like that that we might be aware of, so that we don't reach out to the professor regarding that?
The only way that the main way to go ahead and look and see if courses are available, what courses are available for spring is through sale. The course I believe that you mentioned is in a catalog, but it is not one that's available in sale to be offered for spring. It may be offered in summer or fall, which I know it's on the list, but always look in sale to see what courses are being offered for spring as the definitive list. That will tell you everything as far as what's being offered. It could be open, they could be closed, but we won't know for summer and fall until the week after spring break, which is mid-March.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
I know there was let's see, go through the questions. We'll put that the tutorial link, because the university does have some tutorials out there, and then we have our own. We'll find the university's tutorial link and put it out there. I think Sophia has just done it right now. There we go. Let's see. I know there was a question about housing. We're trying to get that information to help.
Yeah, I'm looking for the HPO form right now for housing. So give me just 1 second.
Excuse me, I did have a question on,
Sure.
I guess, dropping courses. I'm currently signed up for 2 courses right now in the MBA 7-week, like quick semester courses.
Okay.
If 3 days in, 4 days in, I realize, 2 courses is too much. I should probably only take 1. Is there a set deadline, like a 2-week deadline where I could just drop one of the courses without very much repercussions? I was just kind of curious if there's a deadline like that?
Anybody or?
There is, I don't recall, we'd have to look it up, Jonathan, to determine how far in you can go and get full tuition reimbursed. With the shorter classes, the 7 weeks, it will not be 2 weeks, it'll be a matter of days. So we can look that up.
Yeah, let me find it right now. Let me find the academic calendar
Thank
real
you.
quick.
And you can drop the course at any point. It's just the longer you're in the course, the more tuition that will not be reimbursed.
Right.
I think that's a great question. And I also think that looking forward and trying to balance things out, taking 2 courses the first semester when they're abbreviated courses, and you have a full life already, job, family obligations, etc. Sometimes taking one just to kind of get the flow and the pace and the cadence is very helpful.
So
Very good feedback.
So I did put out the academic calendar. It looks like I see the add and drop date for regular term. I don't see it for the 7 week. I will try to find the drop for the 7 week because like Dr. McCaleb said, it's usually within like the first week or so. Your faculty will typically, oh, look, here it is, mini terms. Let's open that one. For spring 1, last day to register, last day to drop spring 1. Looks like it's February 14th, but that seems kind of late. So I'm not going to go by that. I will find out that information and send it to you because that seems a little bit late
Okay.
to me. So let me write down. If you want to in the chat, if you could direct chat me with your email address,
Sure.
I will get that information to you.
I see another question about accepting financial aid. Yeah, so you can accept financial aid, and if you decide that you no longer need that financial aid, you'd have to go through the financial aid office to drop that financial aid. However, I would advise that maybe you contact them before you accept any kind of financial aid, because sometimes it can be a little bit of a process to go back and have to do all the paperwork to drop. I have a really great contact in the Office of Financial Aid. I'm going to put her contact information in. Her name is Maria. So I would definitely reach out to her before you make any kind of decision about accepting, or you're not sure. She'd be a great resource to talk to. And I'm going to put her contact information in here. Just give her an email. She's super quick and she loves to help students. So I'm sure she'd be happy to hear from you and help you out. See here. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll and make sure I don't miss anybody on it. And if anyone has questions, and maybe you leave here and you meant to ask something and you didn't, or you just didn't want to ask, feel free to just send them to me and I'm happy to either answer them or get them to the right person. That's my contact information. So if you can write it down, put it in your phone. That way you just have one person you can contact instead of trying to find a million people to contact. We'll make sure that you get in the right hands. if I decide to drop a class, will it show withdraw on my transcript after classes start? I believe if you drop by the drop date, it won't show withdraw. That would be if you withdrew from the course after.
And that would,
It-
that would be like completely from the university.
Right. Advisors, I just want to make sure I'm using the right terminology there, but I believe if you drop by the drop date, you won't have a withdraw on your transcript.
I see some shaking heads there.
Some
And
summer
always-
classes.
And I was
Okay.
gonna say real quick, and always before you drop, you might want to check in with your advisor for advice
Absolutely.
about what's the best course of action, because I'm gonna say most of our programs have a rotation schedule. So as you drop, it might affect your courses going forward. So always seek the advice of your advisors and your faculty, and always maybe ask your faculty before you drop the class for their advice. Maybe they can talk to you a little bit before you make that decision. So don't always run straight to go drop that course. Seek some advice, because they may able to provide some perspective before you do that. But if need be and you have to, then definitely do that. We don't want you to get an F in a course or anything like that that you don't think you should be taking at this time. So please seek out the advice of others before you take some action. And then of course, make the best course of action for yourself. Let's see, I see summer class question.
Yeah, so some summer classes are offered online, and that really just is by program. So some may offer online courses and some may be fully in person. So usually registration for summer classes happens in, let's say, April-ish. So you can always, in April, the registrar will send out email communication, text message communication. So you'll get notification when courses are about to open for registration. And so you can actually filter what classes are offered in person versus online, and you'll be able to see those. But not every class is going to be offered online, and some programs offer these classes are only in person, these classes are only online. It really just depends on the course and the program. Connie, it looks like we have another nursing question.
Okay.
Is there a faster paced program for the MSN in nursing?
Faster than what we have on our website? I do not think so. I think that's the way we go, because it's designed for working nurses. So almost all of our students are working at least part-time. And so usually the degree plan is laid out accordingly. It's different, you know, if you bring transfer credit and we accept some of that, then maybe you can skip some of the steps. But what you see on the website, that's basically the course you will need to take.
Thank you, Connie. Okay, I think we're all caught up from what I can see. And like I said, with the HPO housing form and any other questions, I'm so sorry, I'm gonna have to do some investigation because I can't seem to find it on the housing website. There's a vague description of it. So I'm gonna have to do some investigation there and make sure I get you the right form or the right person to speak with. But I did get your emails. I will be reaching out to you. If there are any other questions, we're happy to answer them. But it looks like we're all caught up, but we're here in case you have additional questions that you want answered before you log off for the evening. Leticia?
I would say if there's nothing else coming in, then I would say I'm going to go ahead and stop the session and stop the recording. So again, thank you to everybody who is on tonight. Feel free to reach out to the College of Graduate Studies, and we'll be happy to help you. And again, best of luck on this upcoming semester. Everybody have a great night.
Thank you all so much for logging in.